What is up, guys? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. It's a Sunday. Let's do this. It's the red carpet, man. Gotta get this party pumping. It's the pregame.
All right, who's responsible here? Who's responsible here? Whose house is this? You haven't been drinking or anything, right?
No.
Okay, drive careful, okay?
Thank you.
What is up, guys? Hi. Hello. It's a Sunday. Look out. It's summertime, though. Thank you so much. Moon, Freebird. Give all the love to Bella. Tonight, really special. Bella is interviewing Howard Blum. I told you guys about it the other day. I wasn't joking. We knew that it was happening. Shit. I just brought my own popcorn, got my own drinks today. Having a Bud Light. Who needs a Bud Heavy? We got a big day tomorrow on the Karen Reed case. We got a big day tonight. And Howard Blum, I got a big recap tonight for the Karen Reed case. But today it's all about, come on, Bella works so hard behind the scenes, you guys don't even know about it. I'm going to tell you why you guys don't know about it. Because I know about it. One of the best, literally one of the best. So come on in, waiting for all those notifications to go off. So I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm not sure if you guys know that Megyn Kelly is the only one, I think, to interview good old Howard. And Bella's going to be the number 2 to interview Howard. You guys know who Howard is, right? Well, let's talk about Howard. Who's Howard? But first, let's get a little, let's make it like the red carpet. You guys, I have hair. Look at that. Look how much hair.
Don't need a reason or a happy hour. Ain't hanging around for a fireworks show.
Where is my girl Boston really quick, though? I was hoping she'd pop in so she'd be like, I live in the high bun. Is his book out yet? His book is coming, y'all. You know who he's writing for, right? You know who he is? Colin Harper. You guys know that guy? You guys know Harper? Harper Collins? You guys know Colin Harper? You guys know him? Because I don't know if you guys go into the library and you say the last name first name last. How does that work? Because I don't even go ever into the library. They're like, oh, God, this rowdy girl right here. I'm like, can I get that private room over there? Howard. Yeah, he is. He's really good, isn't he? Yeah. June 25th, I think the book is out. Oh, is that what you guys think? You know what? Like I told you, I don't read. I have a huge problem with reading. When I get packages delivered from Amazon or any package delivered, are you guys like direction readers? I'm just not. I'm like, I got this. And then I'm like, God, where are those directions? Woo! Yes. So we're kicking it off. We're the party. Oh, just a little bit of day drinking. I'm not good with directions either. Who's not good? I got directions all day. We do not even need a map. But you guys know when like you get that package sent and you're like, God, I didn't realize they put all these pieces together. And you're like, I got it. That's me. Yeah, we get there. Sunday fun day. Absolutely. Why wouldn't it be? It's like the Oscars, right? It's like the Emmys, something. It's something. So in case you guys don't know who Howard is, Howard has wrote all the airmail pieces that have come out in the Idaho4 case. I don't know if you guys know about the Idaho4 case. You guys know about the Idaho4 case? Maybe. How about the air piece? Like those pieces that came to us and like we were waiting for like the next piece, and the next piece. Well, I made it fair that I didn't ask Bella anything about what the fuck she was doing. Okay, because I got my own shit to worry about over here, right? So I have no idea what is he legit. Oh fuck yeah, he's legit. He is actually, he's very legit. He has all the inside scoop. He is right. I mean, immediately when the Idaho4 case happened, just like kind of like we were on it right away, he was on it right away. And he's been to Moscow more times than I've been to Moscow. And he's talked to a lot of people. I think his biggest hit for me is that the stuff that he was saying when it wasn't known, it started to then like get like traction. So that's how I know that his shit's legit. It's kind of like me when you come over here, you're like, no way. And then you're like, holy shit, Lana was right. Like, whoa. So for me, for Howard, like, he's writing a book, right? So I think he's going to be late. I don't know. You guys can just ask him all those questions, like those book type questions. But I think that since he's writing a book, like I'm over here talking about facts, nothing but the facts, nothing but the motherfucking facts. Or at least I tried to, right? For anybody that's writing a book, I would think that he's, depending on what type of book he is writing, you know, he's going to put like that colorful language on it. Like, you know, Brian was just strolling through the snow and walked up to, you know, using all that colorful, like, adjectives and I'm over here just like mofos. That's my adjective. So we have maybe different approaches, but guess what, guys? We're trying to get to the same thing. Bring people to pay attention to this case. We may be coming from different angles. Mine's coming from the angle of is law enforcement royally fucked this case up from jump. And I have no problem saying that I've been right. Not a damn thing wrong with me saying that. That doesn't mean that just because law enforcement fucked this up doesn't mean that Brian Koberger is innocent or guilty. Like, whoa, newsflash. Law enforcement can fuck it up and the guy be guilty. But I knew from day one when they said that they got to Brian Koberger and how they got to Brian Koberger, I said, you are a liar. You are lying right now. That's not how you got to him. How you said you got to him and how you really got to him, and no. So he's legit, and he's interviewed a ton of people in this case. A ton of people. So, like I said, I'm just here for the party, guys. I'm here to just like. So let's see. I figured that you guys could help me line up some questions. Molly, you in trouble, girl. Oh, that's from Ghost. You guys know about that, right? Let's take us back though. Megyn Kelly did an interview with so I'm gonna do this for you guys to know what we're talking about here. You guys know who Megyn Kelly is. She's a fine piece, y'all. Lana, don't say that. Well, she's smart. She's fine, whatever. It's all the same, right? So let's go to Megyn Kelly and Howard. There we go. Let's see what we got. I don't know. I think, when did she interview him? Oh, yeah, here we go.
Him.
And was the purpose not so much the killing, but getting away with it?
First subscription year. Go to startmail.com.
We're all having parties. Interestingly enough, 13 miles. And it's...
There we go.
Joe, it's cards.
I want her to say, like, welcome Howard Blum.
I believe they have the right man. I also believe that they have, at this point, a very dubious case in court. I don't think it's going to be as easy as we all assume to make the case against him.
Okay, so this is interesting here. So Howard Blum, this was back a year ago. Megyn Kelly brought his ass out on this. Who's Howard? Well, here's Howard. Megyn Kelly said, welcome Howard. Howard had already wrote a bunch of stuff. Megyn Kelly said, okay, I'm going to do this interview with Howard. Howard accepted. The only other person that's going to be ever interviewing Howard is right here, Bella. Can you guys believe that? Like, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, Megyn Kelly's kind of a big deal. And then like Bella lands Howard Blum. Well, that's because Bella's a big deal. That's why Truth and Transparency is a big deal. All of you guys that are moderators, all of you guys that are members, you guys all make Truth and Transparency a big deal. Complex tattoos, Megyn Kelly.
I'm very much looking forward.
So here.
And this is how you begin part one, quoting now from your piece. Suppose you wanted to kill someone. That would be easy. There are lots of ways. But suppose you wanted to kill 4 people, all in the same house, all within moments of one another, and you chose to use a knife. That could help eliminate the noise, but it would require skill, strength, and endurance. Murder is hard work, especially if people fight back. Then there's the really big obstacle. You want to get away with it. You're determined to stab 4 people living in a single home in the still of the night and then disappear without leaving a clue to your identity. Now that's a more difficult challenge, but you did it. You have everybody stumped. It's the perfect crime. That's incredibly what actually happened and what was likely in the mind of this killer who has been accused of being Brian Kohlberger
I disagree.
until the day he was
I disagree with.
arrested. Let me start with, do you believe, based on your reporting, police have the right man?
I believe they have the right man. I also believe that they have, at this point, a very dubious case in court. I don't think it's going to be as easy as we all assume to make the case against him. I'm very much looking forward to finding out just how much new evidence the police are getting. But at this point, what they have is what we call in legal terms, bad facts. They might sound good to a prosecutor, but a defense attorney can punch a lot of holes in them.
Now, you guys, this was a year ago. This is a year ago. Now, think about this. So this was a year ago. He was saying this. Now, can you imagine how he feels now? I mean, maybe he doesn't feel like they have the right guy. Maybe he feels like, holy crap, we got, he said a year ago, a defense attorney's going to poke holes at all of this, right? So what do you think he's going to say now? I have no idea what he's going to say. I'm just here for it. So, but Howard Blum back then believed that they had the right guy, but you don't have this slam dunk case that y'all are talking about. So, and I think it's very interesting why he doesn't think that they have this slam dunk case.
That's fascinating because most people have been saying they think it's open and shut, it's a slam dunk, but proving it beyond a reasonable doubt is a lot harder than just pontificating about it. And we will learn more in June when they have that preliminary hearing where the prosecution has to show its cards.
Right there, Megyn Kelly says it. This is how you guys know that this is way before they ever even had a grand jury indictment. Can you guys believe this, right? Everybody has, think about it, though. This was before, so she interviewed him before he was indicted with the grand jury because they were all expecting us to have this preliminary hearing. We're all going to get some facts for ourselves. Well, they didn't go that route, right? They didn't go that route. And see, before this even happened, Howard was saying this isn't a slam dunk. And everybody else was saying it was, right? But even he wasn't saying it was. So that's what's interesting to me is to hear him talk about it now in obviously this was back in 2023 before June. And now we're all the way to June 2024. So what do you think? What do you think's up now? Like I said, I don't know. I don't ask questions. I don't want to know. I want to be like all of you guys, what's up?
What evidence it has to see if this case should be tried over.
Very much so. But until then, what they're doing is they're sort of flailing about, it seems to me, and again, I'm on the periphery, they're flailing about in desperation. They're looking for search warrants. calling up American Express cards, trying to make something out of cell phone tower movements of Koberger's car on the night of the murder. Well, cell phone tower information is very inexact. It's good for 13 miles. In a town like Moscow, which is as big as a yawn, 13 miles is not much. There are thousands of cars in that vicinity. A good defense attorney can raise lots of doubts, enough doubts to make a juror perhaps think twice about sending a man to what is in Idaho at this point, an execution chamber.
Oh, look at that, you guys. This is what he said back then. Holy shit. Come on. You got to give it up for, woo. That's pretty impressive right there. He's like, yeah, well, we got some issues. They're trying to make a lot of things out of what? Think about this. He said this back then. When I say back then, I think about Mike Jones. You guys know who Mike Jones is? I'm going to show you guys who Mike Jones is. Let's see. That's what I think about. Cheers. Back then.
They've set up a special room by Idaho law, and you're given a cocktail of 4 different chemicals that ends one's life.
All right, let's set it up so that the audience that hasn't been following this knows what we're talking about. It was back November 13th of just this past year, 2022. And your piece points out that this was a festive night on the campus in Idaho. It was football night. Everybody's having a good time. Nothing foreboding. There'd been no reason to fear that there was a potential mass killer roaming the campus whatsoever.
No, and University of Idaho is very much a good time party school. It's proudly rated that on all sorts of college ratings. You go into the campus and there's a banner across the main campus yard. And this is something the administration has put up. It goes #1 best value in the West. And that sounds like an ad for a motel, not for an institution of higher learning. But that's sort of the atmosphere that pervades in the university.
Woo,
and on this night,
party
the last
town!
homecoming game of the year.
Homecoming. It wasn't homecoming.
Row,
it was senior day.
And they're all having parties. Interestingly enough, the fraternities are allowed to serve liquor. The sororities can't. This seems to be a very sexist discrimination, but that's the rule.
I agree.
In Idaho. And these 4 murders occurred in a house just right off campus, a stone's throw from campus in effect, where a 6 very attractive young women with their whole lives ahead of them were living and enjoying their youth. They were having a really good time, as one can see in various videos that have been released.
Amazingly, despite the fact that the house...
But we really don't know. I think some of the News Nation reporting has been a bit dubious. Maybe that's my New York Times background prejudice. Maybe I'm not looking at it objectively, but rather subjectively. But I take it with a grain of salt. When you say she was in a state of shock, though, this is the police quoting her.
All right, you guys, this is why Howard's legit right here. Listen to this.
Reporting. This is from the Daily Mail that, first of all, points out that the family of Ethan Chapin, who was killed that night, the boyfriend of Zaina Kernodle, they are questioning why Dylan did not call the cops after hearing, quote, crying and screaming. And they're wondering, what happened there? Well, now we get some reporting, and we don't know whether this is true or not, but we get some reporting that Ethan Chapin, again, one of the victims, his best friend, was the one who found him and Zaina. And that, okay, this is per News Nation, Ashley Banfield reporting that a source who spoke directly with Dylan is saying Dylan allegedly did hear those noises at 4. She opened her door. She yelled, "Calm down, you're being loud. I'm trying to sleep." Then she closed her door and locked it. And she saw, then later in the night, she heard more noises. So she opened the door. She saw the killer walking down the hall, but she wasn't frightened. She assumed he was a guest. Now that makes sense to me. Again, this is one single source, as reported by Ashley Banfield.
That means he's not covered in blood.
To me would make perfect sense, Howard. The reason she didn't call the cops is because she didn't think it was a thing.
Right. It makes sense. It could be true, but we really don't know. I think some of the News Nation reporting has been a bit dubious. Maybe that's my New York Times background prejudice. Maybe I'm not looking at it objectively, but rather subjectively. But I take it with a grain of salt. When you say she was in a state of shock, though, this is the police quoting her comments. I think they put it in quotes in the affidavit, and it's in quotes because she said that to them. She could have, I think, and we only know that she as something as you described it, perhaps very likely did happen. It's a college house, things are going on, it's no big deal, and she just locked the door. The next morning, they get up, they find this. I think it's her phone, from what I've heard, and again, this is just speculation, that was used to make the call, but she herself did not make the call. She was, again, too much in a state of shock. Someone had to grab her cell phone, and they made the call with that to the police at 11:58 that morning.
That's right.
Dude, that's going to be problematic right there. If that is in fact true, that means Dylan on 2 different occasions. That means Dylan on 2. So tonight, Bella's interviewing Howard Blum. Right here is Howard Blum. I'm just reminding you guys of like, hey, this is what, you know, you're going to hear all about. If you don't know who he is and what he said, he's done a lot of writing with this case. But right here, he's saying, and what I want to say is that if it in fact this is true, that she's the one that actually saw Brian Koberger because he walked past her and she was just in a frozen state. That means twice she would have been in a frozen shock state. And that means she still didn't call 911. That means that Dylan cannot be persuaded to call 911. Nope, you somebody out here, you can use my phone. Like, why wouldn't the other kid or whoever was there to use their phone? Like, whoever uses somebody's phone, like, give me your phone, let me call off of your phone. So I think that that's interesting that, like, you would just grab your own phone, just, here, I got to use your phone. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, that's just interesting. Like, if I would just grab my own phone to call it. But he's saying here that he is under the impression, from what his sources has said, that it was actually her phone, but that, again, she was just too much in a, woo. That means that would happen twice. That means that she was frozen, but from him, he's like, no, she was just saying she thought he was just a party goer. So does that mean that he wasn't covered in blood? He didn't have a knife and he didn't have a mask over his face? Because this is 2022. Like, people aren't wearing masks over their faces when they go out. This is Howard Blum back. I mean, we're talking the Megyn Kelly show. The only other time that he's ever been interviewed, he's writing a book.
That's right. The same reporting again. This is again News Nation saying, per multiple sources with knowledge of the killing investigation, it was Ethan Chapin's best friend who called 911 using Dylan's phone. He went to the house on November 13th, and that same friend reportedly took the pulse of the victims and is the one who spoke to the 911 dispatcher, and then the police came. Your reporting sets the scene for when the officers showed up at the house, 1122 King Road, Moscow, Idaho. They showed up that day, and you point out one of the eerie things about the moment was the silence.
Yes, I mean, the people who I spoke with, the police, said the cops, first thing they knew that something serious was wrong because all they got a report of was an unconscious victim, an unconscious person, rather, at the house. And they see a group of kids mulling about the house like gulls on a beach, as it was described to me. And these kids are silent. They've been putting up with the university kids all their professional lives as cops. I don't think they've ever seen silent kids before. They knew that this was something serious. They walk into the house and they see blood right away. It's right seeping down the entrance floor. And one cop talks to a local.
Again, he was there. He interviewed people. And this is before there was a gag. The gag didn't come, you guys, until after. Like, so Howard starts reporting on this before there was ever a gag, before there was ever a suspect, right? So he was there to start getting his sources, getting people that he wanted to talk to. All right. And they said that there was, as soon as you walked in there was blood. It was seeping. Okay. Again, this is taking us way back to the first time that he's ever been interviewed. Megyn Kelly did it. Bella's going to do his second only ever interview about this case. He's writing a book. And it's, you guys can hear about what it's about and all that stuff. It's not for me to talk about. I'm here to get everybody ready. Woo! I'm here to know that I know what I know. And it's interesting listening to him talk about it because just a couple minutes ago, he just said they try to, they're pinning this car and now we know what we know about that. And that ain't right.
A local shrink who works with the police department about the smell of blood. Maybe he's imagining it afterwards, but it's still very strong in his mind. And they start exploring things. And as they explore, as I said, it's a 3-story house built on different levels. They go to the first level and they go to the first bedroom, and everything's more or less fine. And they said, maybe this isn't so bad. And they go up on the next floor and they start finding the bodies. And it's a shock for these cops. These cops have been spending a great deal of time with the local psychiatrist assigned to the police department. And their wives have been going to the shrink too, because they have to deal with their husbands who have had this experience of discovering this crime scene.
Oh, the trauma.
The local psychiatrist for the police department, also plays in a 70s cover band. He was playing just 2 weeks before downtown, singing Sweet Caroline and Van Morrison favorites to a packed audience.
Holy shit, and then he just brings me the goods today. You guys have been waiting for him to say this. He just said that one of the psychologists played in a cover band. Well, is it the same cover band that none other Bill Thompson's in? Woo! I mean, what are the odds that there would be a cover band, 2 cover bands? Or they got to be the same cover band. But Bill Thompson's in a cover band. Sweet Caroline. Oh, oh, oh. Good times never. So good. So good. Again, I'm just getting this ready. So here we go. I think it's the same motherfucking band. Woo! Otherwise, we got a lot of band players. Get on down here, down to the red carpet right here.
I can't begin to know it.
Woo!
But then I know it's growing strong.
Sweet Caroline.
In the spring, touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you.
So good, so good, so good. We'll go back here. I love seeing Lana like this. I know she's just a sweetheart like this.
Included some of the cops.
Oh no, I appreciate the color because yeah, like a lot of these small towns, it's a college town. They're about the local sports and supporting the local kids and dealing with noise complaints and the education that comes along with all of it.
Noise complaints.
It's
Ben Kelly, how do you know about noise complaints?
I mean,
That's
having
because
grown
of
up in
me.
Syracuse, New York, I understand this. It can be a little dreamy. It can be like just a little oasis from real life.
And has about as much
until
snow as
real life comes
Syracuse
crashing
in
in.
the winter.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. The
Meg
tundra.
Kelly.
There's something else
You know,
though
you don't-
about Moscow, Idaho, that makes it a little more darker, I would say, than Syracuse or any other college towns. A large contingent of the town belongs to a very fundamentalist church, which is fine. They're right. They've announced. I spent some time with them. They're against vaccinations. They're against masks. They've had many demonstrations on the street, and these have become where people have been arrested. There are now court cases. But this group is intent on creating a theocracy. That's what they've said. That's their word. They want to control Moscow. On Main Street, everyone talks about the bars that the kids went to the night before they were murdered. There are also 2 different cafes, a bookstore, and a sort of pop-up university that has been set up by this church group. And they also have a real estate office to bring people in from out of town to help them find homes in the community. So this has become a force in this very liberal, as you say, carefree college town, a very openly misogynistic, openly not conservative. That's not fair to conservatives. This is a theocracy they're trying to create, a church-run community in this town, and that's also at odds. There's an undergoing tension in this town. Before the police chief had to handle this mind-boggling murder case, he had 6 death threats against him, serious ones, in the past year that, according to the police chief, came from this church group, but who knows? That's just speculation. It's all being...
Chief Fry's getting death threats over the fact that he was arresting people because they weren't wearing masks, and it was called Stickergate or whatever the heck it was called. Who gives a shit? I showed you guys it. I was like, look at these videos. Look at these videos. Chief Fry was arresting people while they were in the middle of parking lots, preaching to the Lord, their Savior. You guys can't, I mean, come on now. Let's see what's up. What else we got?
Father out of his life. Now he's taking his father back into life. They're going to make a cross-country trip home for Christmas. He's doing all this, and at the same time, he knows who he is and how he will always be an outsider. And he's trying to find his way in, and he really can't. I think that's also an untold story, part speculation at this point. that we want to try to get more of on June. This man who sees himself as someone more sinned against than sinning, and that his life is in its way a horror story. It's also a tragedy too, I would suggest. Perhaps that's not.
It's been
popular.
the details on him have been frustratingly sparse. You know, I would have expected more people, more of his students, more of those who've just known him to come out. We've had a few, you know, one person, the quote I remembered was something like, Brian and people, they don't do so well. Like that he was always socially awkward. He had a period where he was allegedly bullied. He was very overweight. Then he lost all the weight, became an ardent vegan. Then we found these writings online where he was obviously extremely depressed, talking about how he felt nothing, how he was just this ball of flesh. I mean, you can see mental health issues from his early teens. It was about 10 years ago.
And what is, to me, he's so valiantly, even on those writings, which are, you know, scary at best, he's trying to overcome all this. He's trying to move beyond all this. He's just, you know, a teenager, then a young man, trying to make a way for himself, coming from this life that doesn't provide him any outlet, any future, and he actually succeeds in making a future for himself. His father is the janitor at the high school where he is going to school. That in itself is a burden that you have to carry. His father has gone bankrupt not once, but twice. Back to graduate school, that's something. And at the same time, he knows he doesn't belong, and he finds himself on the periphery of this party school where everyone is young, bright, beautiful, and gifted, and this is a future.
That's being so kind, Howard, to say everybody is beautiful. Come on. You know, people in college were not beautiful, but you know what? You still hit it anyways. Let's be honest. Let's be honest about it. If we're gonna be honest about it.
He has to,
welcome, Howard Blum.
Is denied to him. This is his own personal hell, and there's no way out of it.
Why weren't there any girlfriends at any point? I mean, he's not a bad-looking guy. He's not a dumb guy. He winds up in this somewhat authoritative position, and that can often lead to romance with a student.
All right, Megan, what you talking about, girl? What's Megan know about that authoritative position? Girl, Megan, we got some complex tattoos going on. Cold bugger pimpin', look out. You guys, this is going to be an epic interview. You know why? Because so much has changed. This interview happened way before there was an indictment. Brian Culver was merely arrested. He was arrested, okay? He was arrested, and we are then waiting 6 months from January until June to have this like preliminary hearing. All right, so it's going down. Me, Bella, we already got our flights booked, our Airbnb booked. We were ready to go, and then we hear, wait, what the fuck? They indicted him on a secret grand jury? Oh, hell no. Where's my Airbnb money back? Now, legit, that's what happened, though. In May, we find out, guys, that, wait a second. Backseat Bill has to put himself, like, up in the cut and say, okay, we got to get this secret, we got to, like, go grand jury. We got to go grand jury. Because you know why? Because none of these motherfuckers, we don't have shit. We don't have shit. Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? We don't have shit. We don't have shit. We lied about everything to do. Wait, what do you mean we lied? Yeah, man, none of this shit. It don't match. The car we took out shit. We gotta go grand jury. Wait, what? Jen! We gotta go see grand jury? Wait, why? This is supposed to be a slam dunk motherfucking case. Oh, it is anything but a slam dunk case. Anything but a slam dunk case.
Peter serving the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go and go in peace. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
And
not scaring nobody. You make me result to wild, and you must keep a high diamonds.
Guys, come on, it's the red carpet. We're supposed to get rowdy. Woo, this is a fun time for me. I don't have to do anything. I'm just like here, like, what up? I'm the DJ. What up? I'm the DJ. Yay. I don't have to do anything, man. Anything. Tonight I feel so special. Woo, no pressure's on me.
And what, any of the press found any girlfriend?
It's
Yep, with that complex tattoo. And he got 2 numbers at the same damn time. Megyn Kelly was waiting to hear about that.
It is interesting the point you raised. There was one girlfriend who had his college before he went off to graduate school, talks about a date with him that went nowhere, and she said she felt creepy. Yep. She might have felt creepy in retrospect if you find out that he was an alleged killer, or it could be someone on the internet making it up. These are all questions I'm hoping to try to find the pieces to in the weeks ahead.
Yes, find them.
A lot of travel ahead of me to the various communities. I've been there already a couple of times.
Yes.
I'm ready to go back and start knocking on doors.
Knock them down.
Another problem is getting at the bottom of things. The judge in the case has put a gag order on the case.
Oh, fuck that!
Everybody.
Anyone involved, any of the police, the family members, their lawyers, can talk to the press. And in that vacuum, we don't get facts, we just get speculations, we just get theories. And the judges...
See, me and Howard are so much alike. He's like, let's just go knock on them damn doors. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, Howard. That's why I got so much respect for Howard Blum. Give it up. Bella is interviewing him in about, 13 minutes. 13 minutes.
His view that this will lead to a fairer trial, to my mind, is just it's just creating an atmosphere where rumors are going to fuel people because people are going to remain interested.
Kohlberger, the police, but pretty much everyone has accepted that the tie is there, that these are his writings. Talk about the visual snow he suffered. I guess that's like when you look around and you see, I call them the ant races.
2011 to 2013 white Hyundai. It turns out eventually it's a 2015. But one of the people they send it to is a guy who's working late at night, a cop at the University of Washington. He goes through the records and sees that there's a car registered in graduate student housing. Another cop goes over there, they get the number, the license plate, and they run it, give it to the Idaho Police Department. The Idaho police officer, corporal, who's running the investigation, he's sort of in charge. He had formerly been in the military police, so the police chief thought he'd be used to crimes involving forensic evidence. And his name is Brett Payne. He's a very gung-ho guy, a very also in-your-face cop when he needs to be, very authoritarian. He pulls up the license plate.
God, I can't wait to hear what Howard has to say about in your face. He ain't anything but in your face. He's a bitch. I said it. I'll say it. Woo! He turtled like a little mofo when Ann Taylor brought them titties up in there. When Ann Taylor was like, can we talk about your, what was your involvement in this case? And here's Brett Payne. I was pouring out drinks when we would have noise complaints. Ha! Get out, no way. 5-2.
Plate record. He's looking at on his screen. There's a photo picture of Kohlberger, and he sees bushy eyebrows. And he remembers that Dylan Morganson, she talked about bushy eyebrows. So he makes this connection. This means they now have the suspect they can zero in on. But meanwhile, to go back a step, all the pictures of the white Hyundai they have, there's not one photo from all the various surveillance cameras of who's at the wheel. None. So Kohlberger could say, someone took my car. Seems far-fetched, but does it raise enough of a doubt not to send one into an execution chamber?
I lost it when he said about Payne. I have nothing to say about Payne. You got a fast car. Karen Reed's got a fast car. Everybody's got a fast car.
You got a fast car. And I want to get you anyway. Maybe we make a deal.
No. Everybody has fast cars during a murder. Everybody's driving fast. I don't even know what's going on here. Woo-wee. I'm ready for it. 9 minutes. We got the clock going.
This will all come out in the weeks ahead.
So do we know when in the timeline they had put those facts together? The guy at University of Washington, again, just 10 miles from University of Idaho, where the girls and Ethan were killed, where the guy said, oh, we've got a white Hyundai Elantra, 2015, graduate student housing. Here's the guy. It's registered to a Brian Kohlberger. And then he gets that information to the police investigating this crime. And now the police say, aha, we have a suspect. Because the reason I ask you this is I watched an in-depth report by NBC News where they claimed the guy found, okay, Kohlberger, he owns one. And then that information was forwarded to cops, but just sat in a stack for days and weeks. And, there were lots of reports and the cops never got to it. And I left still asking myself, well, then how the hell did they get the name Brian Kohlberger if the cops let that just sit in a stack for weeks?
Yes!
They had.
Yes! There you go, Megyn Kelly. Now we're talking. You guys have to go back and watch this motherfucking shit, because when you go back and you actually watch the shit and you can tell the real people from the fake people. You can tell the people that actually have sources, and then when you actually are being non-biased on something, which means your biases, and then you're objective. Like, what are you? Can you be objective? Can you be objective? Megyn Kelly just blew it up right there and said, wait a second. How did y'all go? Wait a second. How did he not just fall through the cracks? Like Richard Allen fell through the cracks in Delphi. Well, this is a great question, but let's hear what his answer is. Because nobody knew at this time that IgG was even used. Y'all understand that, right? Because when we got the PCA, we don't see anything about no IgG. We got no IgG. We got nothing. What we have is a bunch of motherfucking shit. And that's why Megyn Kelly, woo! You're fine, but that was one of the best questions you've asked through the whole process. So I love a girl that can bring it with her looks and her brains, because right there, like, she's on it. Like, well, how did, like, they knew it though, but she had somebody that we didn't know that. If you would have just read the PCA, we think that Brett Payne got that information on November 29th. Why wouldn't we? But here, she knew it. She was talking to somebody. And guess what, though? She was talking to the people that are in on the whole cover up. The whole cover up that just got boom exploded and exposed by Cy and Ann Taylor last week and the week before. And that's why I love this shit. I love it.
A whole lot of white Hyundais. Originally, they thought it was a car that was found out in Oregon, and they thought they had broken the case. So the police were even telling people they broke it earlier. We do know, to set up a timeline, that on December 13th, Kohlberger leaves Washington State University, drive across country to go home with his dad as his wingman in the car. We do know on that December 13th that the police were already following Kohlberger. They did not have enough. They did not have the DNA confirmed yet to arrest him, but he was still a suspect. So at this point, he was a person of interest, and they didn't want to close the case too soon. So I think.
So Howard, that had to be as a result of.
So check that out. They still didn't have the DNA. They would never still get the DNA. And that's where Howard doesn't realize that they even kept that back. And that's the IgG. So guess what, guys? We're going to prep here. Bella is doing her thing with Howard. Let me make sure. Can you guys go ahead and put in the chat here? I want to make sure we transfer all of you guys. I want to take you guys right to where this is happening. But again, we got the five-minute ticker on. And since it's the 5-minute ticker, I just want to end with one last little. Woo! Everybody's waiting on. Yeah, we're gonna go over to her channel. We're gonna go. How do we go though? Let's go ahead, and what we do here is we go ahead and we put this in chat. And it is, Bella has a channel. It's called Bedtime Stories with Bella Lugosi. And I just want one of you guys that, there we go. We're going to Bella's. Yes, we're going to Bella's. This is just hey, guys, I am just the red carpet. Okay. I don't read books. God, I hate books. So I'm going to wait here though, until we put this in chat so that everybody can hit the link here, and that we have, and by the way, you want to pre-order your book though through Bella, because Bella, do you want people to pre-order through you for that book?
No, the link will be in chat.
Oh, the link will be in chat?
And
Okay.
the link's in the description for the video. They can pre-order. It's an Amazon.
Oh,
pre-order.
so do we have that special? Look out, girl! So where's that link at? Where's that link at so I can share it? No, your link. I'm trying to share your link. Hey guys, you know, I'm just taking us all the way back. Here we go. Right there. I got a pin. Guys, see you guys over there. Go ahead and hit that. I'll ring the bell one more time. Now I think there's a way, like, how do I can like just like transfer everybody? Be like, boop, boop.
That's back end.
I gotta back end that stuff.
Yeah.
God, I'm just a bad back ender, man. I just want to be a mod. I just want to be like. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys over there. You guys got the link there. Hold on, I wanted to pin it. I want to pin it on my. I also shared it in my community page, so you guys can go over there with my community page. We're rounding this out, so I want to go. Hold on, let me go ahead and do what I want to do. Hey, Howard, how are you, baby? I just throw roses. I just throw roses.
Result of the white Hyundai. I mean, there's right, like reading what the police put out in that affidavit tells me that's from the white Hyundai, because even though they have cell phone data from Brian Kohlberger and so on, what gets you to Brian Kohlberger's cell phone? You need his name. You need, because even though they have cell phone data from Brian Kohlberger and so on, what gets you to Brian Kohlberger's cell phone? You need his name. You need, because even though they have cell phone data from
Even
Brian
though what?
Kohlberger,
What? I would agree. I would agree, Megan. I think that you're on it, Megan. I think you're banging on it. Banging on it. All right, guys, go ahead and meet me on over there. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to be fashionably late. November 29th. 4 people that were murdered, and you want to fuck around. You got 8, 7, 8 families.